Hi, I'm Arthur at Tabletop Chaos. A lot has changed. This is the second take. This a lot has changed. Um, I am no longer in my old room. I have moved. I have just begun to settle in. We got everything kind of moved around. I might get more into it on my personal channel. Um, and a lot of stuff happened between that this point and way back. So I want to touch on all this in a big old Tabletop Chaos update video, and then I might post something a bit more personal on just my channel. I have like a set of bullet points right next to me because we are going to be getting some heavy topics somewhat near the end. But right now I just want to focus on the big like channel update type stuff. So first up, the cast. The cast of Horizons has significantly upgraded from 6 to wait, it went from 6 to 3, and now we are up to 8. So the reason for this, I don't have a good one. So there was a big transitional period with Horizons where we were losing some players, we were gaining some new ones, some people came back, and around that point it just started to get a little confusing. And we end up with a grand total of 8 players, which, by the way, I'm not upset over at all. These people are wonderful. I could not ask for a better crew of players. I just wait till you see the episode where we get to bring in all 8 all together. It might be up by the time I upload this. It might not be. We'll see. But with all those new players, some accommodations might need to be made. Schedule might change a little bit. I want to have a consistent upload schedule going on. However, we play our games bi-weekly on a Wednesday. So that could cause some issues. But take my word on it now. I will, to the best of my abilities, once we record the games on Wednesdays, they will be right on the Tabletop YouTube channel by Thursday afternoon. You know, as for the future of Horizons, you know, the game has entered its sort of dark period. The season 1 finale of sorts is upon us soon. But I have no intentions to end this campaign. I want to go on. I want to have a season 2, a 3. I want this to be like the focal like core of this channel is Horizons. It is the culmination of everything I've tried to work up towards. I feel like this is my strongest as a dungeon master. And we've just have so much fun with it. We've had so much fun with it so far that I don't plan on ending this thing. I have a track record of not finishing campaigns. This one is going to be finished, and once we finish the season 1, we'll do a season 2, we'll do a season 3. We'll keep going until the stories have all been told. So yeah, I love Horizons, and I want to improve upon it. Speaking of campaigns, though, we have our second campaign on this channel, Wandering Isles. So, the first episode we posted a while back, and then just recently we got the second episode. So you can already see there's a bit of an upload problem. This is due to the flexible schedule in which Wandering Isles kind of has. I wanted to play a second game for the channel for a long time, though I have not had the best track record of scheduling those in a timely manner, kind of like coordinating with everyone between 2 games. It became a lot. It led to the constant rebranding, the constant like shifting of the channel to what it is now. And I don't have any intention to change this flexible schedule. So far, it has worked pretty well. However, in terms of uploading, I expect Wandering Isles to be a monthly thing. I want to get at least 1 episode out every month, either at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month, maybe sometime in the middle. But I want this to be a monthly kind of upload to fit with our flexible scheduling. So even though the Wandering Isles is so much fun, it is like possibly one of the funniest campaigns we have so far. That you know, because of the scheduling, it will mean that it'll be a bit of a slower burn. But don't worry, we have a lot of content to get through. We are using the wonderful One Shot Wonders book, and we might possibly continue it on as a homebrew thing. Who knows? It is in the same world as, you know, Tempora, so I mean, in the same world as Horizons is what I'm trying to say. So a lot of stuff can happen. We also might be getting a new player in. Our first episode we had 6, and then on this next episode we had 5. We are going to get into more as to why it downgraded to 5, but I want to get it back up to 6. So you can expect a new guy to come in possibly by the 3rd or 4th episode. We'll see. Now towards the little extra bits. So the big one is Stat Block Showdown. This was a trailer I put out a long time ago that has so far not gotten any payoff, and I am really bummed about that. I've reached out to not to my own community that I've had in my little Discord. I reached out to newer players. I wanted to get new outside players of the community to be brought in. Particularly, I wanted dungeon masters to become a part of this game. The turnout was not what I expected, though we do have one person, and I want you to see that one person because he's fun. We've had a few conversations, and I want him to appear on this channel. But I need to get more players in for Stat Block Showdown first. So I do not expect Stat Block Showdown to be coming out anytime soon. But I have not forgotten about this project. I want this project to come to fruition, and I want this to be like something that is very. I want this to be something, is what I'm trying to say, and I want this to succeed. But in order to succeed, we need an actual cast. So that is the update on Stat Block Showdown. We also have some one-shots. I have some one-shots brewing in my head. But the big thing with the one-shots, I want to try and get more ambitious with them. I want to bring in new game masters. I want to bring in some guests. Maybe reach out to some people we get on the podcast, which is coming up, by the way. But apart from the one-shots being ambitious, I also want to be extra ambitious and try and get some new shows on this channel. The big issue with this channel right now is consistency. We don't have a consistent form of just getting content out. And so I have 2 ideas brewing in the tank. One is a sort of like Foundry type show. We build some characters, magic items, NPCs, monsters, whatever you want to call it. I bring out a guest, we build some stuff up, and then see what happens. Another one is like I've been brewing with this in my head for a long time. Just like the average, like educational type videos you'll see on some D&D channels. Multi-class is a name that's been flowing around in my head. Those are the main 2 ideas that I've had. I want to have like a show on this channel where I can get out on a consistent basis so that we have something to provide for you guys. That's like the main thing that I want to work on. Speaking of which, the podcast is another thing I want to work on. There's a lot of like work stuff I need to work on in this, but this is what this thing is for. So Short Rest, our podcast. It was mainly supposed to be a primary focal point of us bringing in like game masters, dungeon masters, particularly from some smaller backgrounds, and bring them onto our show. The issue with this is getting guests onto this podcast in particular. Even though, we try to reach out to smaller creators, we and ourselves are a small platform. And so, communication can be a bit rough. I am like undoubtedly grateful for Andrew Bond, for Justin Gagliani for coming in to the podcast and bringing in their energy. Taylor, too. I don't know how I could even forget about Taylor. Justin and Taylor are 2 wonderful people. Andrew is a wonderful person. What they do with their projects, they're wonderful people, and I want to do more stuff with them possibly. But I also want to bring in a lot more of those same type of people, the people who have a passion about this game, in a very weird point in its history. And getting to the point though, I want to bring the podcast back. It probably won't have this sort of guest format that a lot of podcasts have, but I want it to be that. Though in order for us to get it out, it's not going to be a very good likelihood. But Sebastian is enough of a funny guy that me and him can crank out some episodes. So we can find some stuff to talk about. Um, that's all the stuff content-wise. Now, I want to preface this. I'm going to be a bit more serious coming up here. We've had some fumbles is the lightest way I can put what has been going on behind the scenes. I will be a bit more slow coming up to try and bring my points across, to try and be as clear and as transparent as I possibly can be. The first bit of drama I want to touch into involves me neglecting to credit an artist by the name of Kage. Now, Kage, I had commissioned them to do pieces of reactive images for our very early season 1 cast. Now, within my process of putting in the credits for the players' social medias, for the background images we ended up using, I have neglected to credit Kage for their work on the images. This went on for an extreme amount of time, way too long. It should have never been as long as it had. They had confronted me about it. I gave my apologies, and I promptly, as per their request, removed any trace of their artwork within my channel. That is why you see the blurred borders on a lot of the episodes of Tempora Horizons, and it is also why we ended up changing thumbnails to the ones provided to us by one of our good players, Flame, who does incredible Hero Forge posing and Photoshop work. Now, recently, we have talked off camera. We have said our apologies, and so far, to my knowledge, we are on pretty good standing. But that does not ignore the fact that I had promised them a formal apology here on the channel. So, to Kage, I apologize for not giving you the proper credit you deserve. The images turned out fantastic, and I am only regretful that I ended up ruining our reputation for a bit. Ruining my reputation for a bit. Ruining our relationship is what I meant to say. That's on me. I apologize that I ruined our relationship by not putting in the proper credits that you rightfully deserved. And I am sorry for that. Now, onto our second bit of big news here. As you know, one of the players on Tempora Horizons is a person named Cherry. They play Saffron Magic. As you also may notice, they have been absent for a good bit of the episodes as of recently. And at first, they were just absent. And then they were absent again. And then finally, they had left our Tabletop Chaos Discord server very recently. And I wanted to get into more on that because I want to be as transparent about the situation as possible, and I never want to leave our audience in the dark. That being said, I will not be going into all the information surrounding Cherry, only those pertaining to me and to Tabletop Chaos as a brand. There are a lot more things I could cover on here, but I will leave it up to the people who are mostly connected to those bits of information to do with that what they will. Cherry is no longer a part of Tabletop Chaos. And to an extent, they are no longer my friend. They, as an individual, went behind my back and gone to a lot of my close friends and to people that I have worked with, spreading false claims of transphobia and homophobia, specifically targeted towards those individuals. This has been going on for God knows how long. They have had some kind of deep-seated hatred towards me, as far as I know, according to the claims of some of my close friends. This whole thing had been going on, again, God knows how long. They refused to come forward and talk to me to work out whatever issues that me and them may have had. And instead, they have decided to block me on Discord and to remove themselves from the Tabletop Chaos server. Again, there is a lot more I want to touch up on. There is a lot more that they have done that I would like to cover. But again, that is information specifically tied to a lot of other people, and it is not my right to share it. And again, I leave that for them to do what they will. And on a bit of a personal note, it has impacted me in a pretty negative way. Um, for the longest time, me and Cherry, as far as I knew, we have been friends since high school. Uh, they were one of the first people I started to DM for. I have played in other campaigns with them as a player. I have run games with them in it. They've been in almost all of them, going back to early 2020. And for this whole situation to pop up, and for me to be made aware that they have spread rumors, spread lies about me towards my other closest friends, it hurts. Now, I don't know the intentions behind this. I know me and Cherry have had a bit of a rocky friendship, though I have always done on my part to be civil and to try and work things out the best I can. That is the type of person I am. I want to be open towards criticism. I want people to come to me if they have any problems. However, Cherry did not do that and has instead decided to block me and remove themselves from the server that I run. And to an extension, they have cut off contact with a lot of other people, none that I'm going to disclose. Again, they can do that what they will, though they have burnt a lot of bridges down. I want to make it as clear as possible. No, I am not transphobic. No, I am not homophobic. I have made it pretty clear that I stand against those who are transphobic and homophobic. I've brought on people who share my viewpoints on those topics, and in no way, shape, or form would I ever be a bigot. I despise bigots. They are not welcome on our platform. End of story. And what hurts me the most is to be accused of being a bigot, knowing who I am connected with, knowing who my close friends are, and knowing what they've had gone through because of this. It fucking sucks. It hurts. That being said, Cherry themselves have decided to disconnect from us. I did not in any way, shape, or form kick them. I did not force them to leave. They have decided on their own free will to leave the server. And that is without talking to me or anyone else. The last bit of conversation, actually, was me asking them to reach out to one of said friends in which they they have spread lies to. And that is how I started to realize that they have done this. So it's a lot. To make a long story short, Cherry had spread false information about me and then left. And pretty clearly, they will no longer be welcome on the channel. But I want to say on a personal note that I hope they find peace wherever they are now. To an extension, another player who has appeared on this channel in the Wandering Isles specifically is a guy who I will only call Jason, as he is credited within the first episode of Wandering Isles. I will not go into their connection with Cherry. However, they do have a personal connection, and they themselves have decided to leave the server as well. With them, I hold no ill will towards. They are simply a good friend of Cherry's, and they have decided to leave. And that is why Wandering Isles is a short one player. When all this information came forward, and during the aftermath of all that had happened, I have most recently been thinking about this channel, and it has only strengthened my resolve to build upon this channel and to do more with it, not just with the subscribers, but with the people in my own community, my close friends, and to people who I've extended the invitation towards. Knowing that I, in any capacity, could at any moment be thrown under the bus and labeled things that I am not, It has only made me more determined to reach out and be as transparent with people as I can be. It's been one of my main goals for the longest time as an individual. And whatever reason they may have for not coming to me, it could be their own, it could be something else. I am not sure of. And me not being sure of it is what's messing with me the most. I I want to be a person who can take the criticism, who can use that to build upon himself, and above all else, to be someone who can be open about that type of thing. I'm not a perfect human being. As I've stated earlier in this video, I've made a big mistake and I've paid for it. It's it's a lot. Um, I'm still not doing the best after it all, but I I want to use this video as a jumping off point. And to my close friends, to everyone who has ever been involved with D&D, to Tabletop Chaos, and to me in my own personal life, I cannot be more grateful that you are within it. All of you in your own way have done more work than you could possibly imagine. I would not hold the joy I have for this game without you. That's pretty much it. I hope these updates serve you well. I hope that I could clear up any and all questions that you guys may have. And above all else, I just hope you have a good day.